This is a video showing how to use the filtered function within PASCO Capstone. I've previously collected some force versus time data where it has an increasing force and then a decreasing force. I may not be interested in my entire data set, but instead I'm interested in where the data set is changing most rapidly. To help out with that analysis, I can go to the calculator and I can create a calculation. In this case, I've started out the calculation filtered force equals. By placing my cursor on this line, I can now go down to the filtered group of functions down within the calculator. Since I'm interested in the changing values, I can select my change filter. By hovering over the change filter icon, the syntax for this function is displayed below in the frame at the bottom of the calculator. So using this change filter, it will be selected and put into the calculator if I click on the change filter button. It will then give me a default argument for the first value. The numerical part of this argument shows that I will only see reported out values if there was a change of 1 or greater between the two successive data points. In the second argument, I need to put in the measurement that will be monitored for this change. I'm going to select on the square bracket on my keyboard, and in this case I'm going to select force. So if I have a change of greater than 1 Newton during the time steps on my data collection, then that will determine whether that data point is reported out. In this case, I'm going to make this a little bit smaller. I'm going to have this go to about a quarter Newton change. So I'll put in 0.25. It's also critical to make sure that your units match for the filtered function. The units of your output function will be the same as the function that you're monitoring. So in this case, I need to put in newtons. Press return. I'm going to close down my calculator. On my vertical axis, I'm going to left click and go to add similar measurement. This is where it's critical that I match the units so that I can display both of these at the same time. So with my filtered function, you can see that many of these data points are not reported out. So you can see the filtered force are in the blue, and then the force values are in orange. So what's happening here is that the filtered force will be displayed over the other ones. So wherever there's a blue data point, that is actually where there's an orange data point as well. Something else that can be instructive is to open up the calculator, and then we can change this value for the critical change value. And if you keep an eye on the right-hand side for the graph, you'll see that as I increase the amount of change required for the displayed filtered force function, you'll see that there are fewer blue points that are displayed. And you can see that this top portion of the graph has dropped out because the change in those values has become much less. This has been a quick video showing how to use the change filter within PASCO Capstone.